2, 1.
This is the Nifty Alpha. I'm Nifty Nick. I'm here with my favorite guest, Sophisticated Art Speculator and Pio. The projects that we're discussing on today's show, CryptoPolz, NinjaToadz, and Doodles NFT. Really excited to discuss those. Before we jump in, remember to hit that subscribe button, that like button if you like degenning out with us. You're going to want to subscribe because we got some major alpha coming down the pipeline here. How are you gentlemen doing this morning, despite the fact that I spent over an hour and a half with you this morning and already know?
Doing great. Fantastic. Feeling good. Beautiful Sunday. Fall weather here. Starting to transition. Feels good. I'm in a nice little knitted sweater, as you can tell.
I couldn't tell, actually. I didn't know that it was knitted.
Yeah, custom. It's like $500. It's like 0.15 ETH.
I like it.
It's not as champs. It's $18.
So in terms of projects, it seems like, Pio, you brought up, we're diving right into it. Very active in our Discord today. If you're not in the Discord, thenifty.com/Discord.
And put up Melter Mike's comment. So once again, whitelist privilege in full effect. 800 people hold 5,000 at 1 ETH. So literally whitelist privilege. You know, I've not seen a non-whitelisted drop work in like 2 weeks. I've lost on every single, because I've been in every single one and I've lost tens of thousands of dollars. So I know they're not working. It's just these little whitelist games is the only way that minting is making money right now.
I mean, if you want some of that whitelist privilege, I recommend that you join our Discord, though, because there's going to be some whitelist action going on in there, no doubt. So that's where you're going to want to join. In terms of this project, so this was a whitelist project, but if you scroll down, Pio, actually, there's
phenomenal art.
The people who are behind it is the key thing.
Look at that art. 1 ETH easily.
Wow.
Could be the next Cool Cats.
So the real value here is Poopy Cat and Evan Keast.
Poopy Cat, real value.
Poopy Cat is an OG NFT person from the CryptoKitties days. So I'm not even joking.
Okay.
These are
I respect that.
NFT OGs, and that's what you're getting access to with this. So I think this reminds me very much of Treeverse. Treeverse ended up in a similar thing. I don't know if these people are even promising anything. Pio, I don't know if you can see. I can't read the text on that screen here. But
for the founders info, or
no, for literally anything about this project.
Okay.
Like,
so we got a collection of 10,000 doodles. The Doodles is a community-driven collectibles NFT project. Doodle NFTs are made up with over 100 exciting traits of faces, hair, hats, body, and backgrounds.
Geez. Hold on. The key here is this treasury.
Okay, holding a doodle allows you to participate in coordinating the Doodles community treasury. This treasury will be seeded with 420 ETH after the public sale ends. Holders can vote for experiences, activations, and campaigns that benefit the Doodles. The roadmap for Doodles is collaborated and will be decided by Doodle holders. With imaginative ideas, adequate resources, and coordination, we believe we can bring Doodles to every vertical of popular culture. That's a big one right there. But this 420 ETH, have we seen something like this already?
Is that 100% of their?
No, I just did the math. It's basically so they're pricing these at 0.123. So they're raising 1,230 ETH, which leaves them. Yeah, that leaves them with 810 ETH, which means they're only going to make about 3.2 million on this drop. So
that's a little pathetic.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we're a little pathetic because we didn't get on this whitelist, and this is clearly a whitelist that we wanted to get on. I don't think Slim Hoods, which all of us got on the whitelist, was effectively one that was like a home run like this. I didn't mint any. I
wonder if Micah G is in the comments here, because that one was not alpha, that was beta. But I mean, respect to the team there. Like, the artist wants to do something serious. The problem is they went straight out the gate. Like, there was no lead up to this. There was no hype. This Twitter account has over 20,000 followers. I was not one of them until today. I DM'd the founders to say, how do I get on this whitelist? At this point, it's too late. There's no chance that that's happening. The whitelist portion has minted. This is a rocket ship, as we can see animated here, getting ready to take off, and we missed it, all three of us. So welcome to
But
the
is it-
Nifty
but-
Alpha,
but-
by the
but-
way. This is a
but-
show where we give you that early tips on
But is it
projects.
too late? But is it too late?
I mean, you could go and mint during the public sale today, and you're going to get in a gas war with a bunch of other people. That's essentially what's going to happen. You could buy the floor theoretically. I mean, this seems like
the floor. It looks like the floor went up to like 1.4. Now it's
Are you
doing
kidding?
a little bit of a pullback to like 1.2.
It was at 0.9.
Yeah, so now it's like it went down to 1, and now it's kind of working its way back up. It's up to 1.1K unique owners. I mean, none of us were a fan of Mutant Cats, but Pio and my mutual friend Danny is very excited about that project.
They bought a punk.
Yeah, they just bought a punk. They're looking at buying a Fidenza. So like
Crazy.
Doodles could be, another one of these, DAO plays.
Yeah, this is a really interesting one, especially since there's 420 ETH. I don't know why they didn't make it 420.69 to really round out that meme, but you can't always hit a home run. And in this case, they're only outperforming the majority of NFT projects that are going on today. So that's like average. Anyways, I like what you're saying, Nick. I think that this has the possibility to be one of those plays at 1 ETH. It's one of those things where you got to buy in with the ballers right now, and that's what you have the option to do here. I think at the public mint, we could see this go down as low as like 0.8 or something like that. But at this point, you can't really guess where that's going to go. 1 ETH may be a good price to get in.
It could go up. It could go down.
It's flying off the shelves at north of 1 ETH in the past 30 minutes. Like a lot of north. Look at all these sales north of 1 ETH over and over again. That's gnarly.
A commenter says to take our shirts off, and my response is, we're already losing our shirts right now. Okay, that's the current state of our trading. We're missing out on these drops. So, and just if you're wondering, NFT traders are not known for their physique. They're known for making money.
Speak for yourself.
Pio,
shredded.
Shredded
out of his mind.
Can you scroll over though? You're saying they're flying off the shelves. Pio, I want to see the timestamp on these.
They're not flying off the shelves. It's like a steady sell a minute. But I bought one at 1.15. It's my first buy in a few days. I think maybe this DAO thing, 420 ETH, sounds like they can do a lot with that. So
the Melter Mike.
Now you can see me right there. You can see me right there. Sophisticated Art Speculator a minute ago.
You bought in?
One.
Yeah, I bought one. I just there's. I'll probably regret it.
Check out Melter Mike's comment. I would pin that one because that is legit alpha. The Party Degenerates project is dropping today, and that one is going to be, I'm guessing, a gas war. Is it not whitelisted again? Like this is.
What's the website for that?
I don't know. Just Google Party Degenerates.
Cool.
It is partydegenerates.com. Yes. Yeah, I guess it's gonna be public.
Danny's behind it.
Yeah, this is just gonna fly.
Farok's in there.
It's Farok.
I can call people what I want. Okay.
You can.
So wait, who's Danny?
He's a very he's like
one of this guy, Seed Phrase.
OG, richest people. Yeah.
Seed Phrase. So he owns
It's Seed Phrase.
You don't need me to tell you about that?
I know who that guy is. Yes, you just said Danny. I was like, who the fuck is Danny?
You got huge artists. This is going to be the exact same thing as the freaking Time Magazine drop.
So save a little
Time
liquid for that,
and literally, get ready to spend 2 ETH on gas for one.
Yeah,
sounds like my kind of party.
It's Dutch auction, 2.5 down to 0.5 ETH. I think they'll sell out at 2.5.
Oh, it's Dutch auction? Oh, I love Dutch auctions. Wait, where does it start at?
2.5. That's what the commenters are saying.
Okay.
When you say
At
no
4
gas
p.m.
wars, Melter Mike, I feel like it's still a little bit of gas war. Even
No,
still, too.
how it works is, and here's a little what they call alpha, the name of our channel. Get ready for alpha assassins in 25 to 30 days.
Whoa.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, so anyways, some real top tier alpha on how Dutch auctions work. There is a gas war. The gas war will be at the community
Discretion.
Yeah, where the community kind of collectively decides the value is. So how art blocks will like work, for example, right, is like there'll be a art blocks curated. It starts at 15 ETH, right? There was one where in a lot of channels that I heard, everyone was like 6 ETH is where we're going to buy, right? And that is literally where everyone bought, and that's where the gas wars happened. So there is gas wars at Dutch auction, but it's at the tier where everyone decides they want to buy it. If you get in the tier above that, then you can get a buy at low gas. So the people that bought that art box curated that I'm referencing, they bought at 7 ETH with no gas. They actually had a cheaper entry than the people that were slamming gas at 6 ETH. So if the collective community thinks, okay, it's going to be a gas war at 2 ETH, then the alpha move would be to buy it at 2.1, 2.15.
I feel like that works more with art blocks. In this case, this one has so much hype that I feel like it's not going to be.
Well, if it has so much hype, then people are going to, but there has to be a community derived price that everyone wants to buy at. If everyone wants to buy at 2.5 ETH at the entry, then that's where the gas war will be. But if you're talking gas wars at 2.5 ETH and you're talking about paying 3 ETH per, 3.5 ETH per, so I mean, then it's starting to look like a mechaverse kind of out of the gate at a very high price point. My gut would say that people probably think 1.5 ETH is the sweet spot, or maybe people think 2 ETH is the sweet spot. So
I think that's a fair estimate. When you look at Mutant Ape Yacht Club, like Nick, you bought in big to the Mutant Ape Yacht Club. I also bought one. I bought it at 2.825 ETH was the total sweet spot of the cost and the gas, and it wasn't bad gas. Do you remember your cost basis on that one?
Yeah, mine was right around where you were too, because I bought a little early and I was like nervous for a second, but then it started flying off the shelves at like 2.5, 2.4. I don't even know if it got to 2.4, but it started flying off the shelves there, and the gas got really expensive. So yeah, if you want to play this, I love how they have add the event to your calendar. Like, respect. That's like so nice. Because that'll like help me like not forget things. But yeah, I would imagine that there's going to be massive gas wars at 2 ETH or 1.5. Do we have any idea of what the art looks like?
Well, we just know who the artists are, which is an insane lineup.
Yeah, for sure.
But like
Avastars had a good lineup, and that our project didn't necessarily work out.
Yeah, so you're saying
but Danny is not this. Yeah, Danny's a tier above, 100 tiers above.
This is a crazy lineup.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm wondering, is it going to be like an Avastars project? Like, because Avastars did this like 30 artist collab, and they all kind of like influence different traits.
So I don't know if this is trait based. If you scroll up, it does look like maybe it is an avatar.
Do they have a white paper? Let's see.
So I'm not quite sure. I didn't take the time to listen through the whole space because I don't have the time for that shit. And so Brandon
So look at these membership benefits. Look at this shit. Yeah. So we got digital events. Only. This is hilarious. Hashtag probably nothing. Hashtag looks rare. Hashtag FOMO. Hashtag up only. Hashtag love to see it. Hashtag this is the way. Hashtag we're all gonna make it. Hashtag right click.
I get the point.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, this is probably going to be an absolute fucking slam dunk. I'm minting something at 2 p.m. on Nifty Gateway. I'm minting $2,000 worth of Micah Johnson. So that's 2 copies at $1,000 each. That's going to be a credit card payment. So that has no impact on my ability to participate in this, because I'm just going to fucking degen with a credit card. With this, I think I might want to take a look, but I'd have to fire up some ETH. Man, there's been some really expensive things to buy recently. The Tom Bilyeu thing, you had to really think about if you want to load up like 2.5, 3 ETH for that.
Yep.
This is looking like it's going to be a 2 to 3 ETH type of thing. What do we think? Do we think at 2 ETH entry point, you're going to pop off with this right now as ETH is ripping? Or do you think you can get it cheaper later on the secondary when ETH's at like 6K?
Yeah, I guess part of it depends on like if you're a gambler, because if you mint, you get the chance of like rolling a rare versus
Right.
if you buy secondary at the floor, you always have a floor.
So let's I kind of want to hit on the other projects that we had listed on here because we went on this party degens
Okay.
thing.
Nick was in the middle of a great thought. How about we let him finish and then we'll move on?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think that just the it's depend if you're a gambler, you know, if you catch a rare at mint, you know, there's a ton of upside. But I do agree that it is expensive, and I think that we have to be cautious just because of like what happened with Mechaverse. I mean, that thing was super fucking hyped to the moon, blah blah blah. It gets to 6 pre-reveal. Is it below 1? Is it below 2? I think I saw someone say it's below 2. Maybe it bounced back.
I'm thinking like percent of stack at this point right now and how I'm allocated. And I want a little bit of ETH right now. I was having a conversation with someone the other day and I'm like, holding ETH is an appreciating thing at this point. And so I'm just wondering, like, should I be buying these things at 1.5 ETH? It's just a huge percent of stack for me to move that much money over right now in terms of my liquid ETH. I don't have that much.
And then also what's your risk return? So if you get in at 2, what are you looking to sell it for 4? You know, and what are the chances that it gets to there? You know, like
against ETH appreciating, you know,
against ETH appreciating, especially. Yeah. And I'm definitely like sizing down. Like me, like 2 weeks ago, probably would have bought like 8 of these doodles. I'm just going to buy 1 and, you know, just be happy if I make 1 ETH. I'm definitely like sizing down my risk profile on all plays just because, you know, I think that we have to just sit on our hands and wait for opportunities at this stage and not FOMO buy secondary. Because like I just did with Doodles, because that's not really a win. And then minting outside of whitelist is not a win either.
So you want to go on
this? Just, I want to use this as an example, Nick. So Nick, relax. Okay. People are enjoying the show. Just
it's a Sunday show. We got no hard stops.
We got no hard stops. Just calm down. Okay. So check it out. So Tom Bilyeu's, I've been watching this one. So it hit the floor yesterday at 1.5 ETH. And Nick, you had texted me about this. You could have bought the legendary one at 1.5 ETH, which is the floor on the Dutch auction. So if you did that, you're actually happy about that now because it was actually a 1 ETH flip immediately. Damn. But this is yes, but this is steadily going down now. So the question is, what is this going to get to, especially if ETH is appreciating? Is there going to be an opportunity to snipe this at 1.5 again? Or is it going to get to like 2?
Why are you going to buy it at 1.5 now, though? I don't understand. Why would you, if you didn't buy it before, you had the opportunity, why would you now go back in?
I'm just speculating on the price against ETH, and people might have missed the Dutch auction. I don't know. I just bought 5 of the 0.1, and I'm going to see what happens with those. I feel like those have a higher likelihood of immediate upside because they're so cheap, and there's already a built-in airdrop of an avatar that's going to go along with it. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm just wondering how some of these expensive projects are going to perform as ETH is on a major rip.
I think it's going to be a challenge for them to perform. I think it's possible, but I do think it's going to be a challenge. Also, we're assuming ETH's going to rip. That's not a for sure event, but yeah, definitely could happen. Or we could double top here at 4.2K and have a little fade back. I mean, who knows? Anything's in the cards. It's definitely looking bullish though. But yeah, man, I think it's, I'm already regretting my Doodles buy. So like, that's just that's a good lesson for everyone that I think like these higher price point things, it's just.
Well, here, I remember back in January, by the way, the price is going up on Doodles in general, but back in January when I would buy an NFT, I was like debating spending 0.14. That was like a big deal. That's what I got my 8 for, or the first one. That's what I got. I got an art block curated at 0.15 or 0.2, something like that. And I was like, man, this is a lot of money. This is a lot of money.
And now the expensive things are like 10 times more expensive.
And to buy these things at 1 ETH, 1.5 ETH, when you think about someone, most people don't have that much liquid ETH to just throw 1.5 at something. That's the thing that's just like so ridiculous to me.
Especially when a lot of the people that like quote unquote have that liquid are also probably sitting on a ton of NFT exposure right now. Yeah, not even bags, but just exposure where it's like, are they trying to increase their exposure, right? Because that's the thing. So you got to think rich people that are already heavily into NFTs, are they really looking at it increasing their exposure at this point?
If they can buy those NFTs that they can dump on other people, the way that this is happening with Doodles, the way that it's happening with some of these like early whitelist
guaranteed profit, whitelist privilege.
Yeah. So that stuff to me seems like the name of the game at this point. And so if we do something like that, we would give our community access to it, which is why you should be in our Discord, which is the nifty.com/Discord. And also remember to smash the subscribe and the like button. But that's where we would give away that sort of thing, because it's messed up. Some of these, they say, oh, it's for the community, but the people didn't have a community to begin with. That's the distinction behind a lot of these different things at this point, is literally it's nothing more than a marketing ploy to get people on the Discord, to get on the whitelist, to do the drop. And they didn't build a community beforehand. That's the thing, which to me is like really interesting. Like the Doodles one. Oh, you're telling me that this thing's going to have 420 ETH and we're going to get to vote on that? And the same thing with Pixel Vault, and the same thing with literally all these projects now with mutant cats, with zombie toads. It's all the same thing from that standpoint.
And if I can draw something from Nifty Gateway, what we saw on Nifty Gateway towards the end of the bull or even the transition to the bear is there was just a concentration of a couple of projects that were like, everyone was trying to pile into, and they would just kind of go up and down and up and down and up and down. I think the difference this time around is that the like Floors of Punks, for example, is holding up very well. I would say it's holding steady above 100 ETH. Yeah. So to me, that's not the signal of a Nifty Gateway-esque bear market pullback where things are going negative 70%, negative 80%. And Nifty Gateway, that even happened at the top. Like Mad Dog Jones.
Everything was shit.
Everything dumps. I'm not seeing that with this current market. I'm seeing just a lot of the shit getting flushed out. The mint flipping is going away, which makes sense because that was literally just an arbitrage play. The whole mint strategy was that you were going to buy and then dump on unsuspecting people in secondary. And eventually, once you have more minters than people you can dump on, that goes away. So I think we're just entering like a lull stage. It's not like if punks were at like piercing below 80 ETH, then like people would be running around like chickens with their head cut off. But that's not happening. So I really think that it's more of like you have to be very selective about your plays. And that's the name of the game right now. It's not ape into everything.
So
yeah, I wasn't trying to cut you off. Just me and Sophisticated Art Speculator, we'll always like kind of reference Nifty Gateway because we have those like really intense scars from that 80-90% capitulation. And I feel like, we had the impression that that could happen again. When I think about it from a macro perspective, I look at a few things. The Nifty Gateway credit card thing was fucking ridiculous. It was completely ridiculous. I mean, it's still ridiculous, but at that time,
you mean that like people were like levering up on credit cards, which made it unwind in a very big way.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous, like leveraged bubble, just like maybe the 2017 crypto.
Because I knew multiple people that were trading on credit card debt for sure.
Exactly. So totally ridiculous there. Number two, open editions on Nifty Gateway is a structure that we don't know if it's going to actually be a long-term thing where you have these open editions. We don't know. Maybe, it's another factor at play. And then when we look at right now, the speculation that ETH is going to go up, which I'm firmly in the camp of, I think that it's going to fucking melt faces for the rest of the year. So there's that and how that affects everything. And then also now though, if Coinbase really onboards people the way that people are kind of expecting.
By the way, it dipped 100 when you said that, but yeah, keep going.
It dipped 100 what?
It did, but go on.
Wow. All right, let's make a bet, Nick. Let's make a bet on whether on October 31st, ETH is higher than it is now. How about that?
On October 31st, you're getting that narrow?
Yeah. Yeah, legit, yeah.
What's the bet for?
You have to do a whole stream with your shirt off if I just It just goes, no, it's just not going to happen. Okay, sorry. I derailed the conversation, but that's my macro perspective on this. So I'm not expecting this like crazy, ridiculous 90% pullback, but this is an interesting time for sure.
It is very interesting. One interesting aspect of this time right now, I should add, is these CryptoPolz.
Yes.
I like to call them crypto sperm because that's literally what these are. They are sperm-looking items using the Toadz style attribute. It was a free drop last night. If you were in another country, not in the US, you could get access to it. Or if you were like I don't know, partying late last night, then maybe you could have gotten access to it. This one was not as. So we got CryptoPolz. We also have CryptoFlies. We discussed that yesterday, right?
Yes.
CryptoFlies. And so when I look at these, so the CryptoFlies is in a different camp. The floor on that is 0.22 right now. And I think people are hoping for the same thing. The distinction is CryptoFlies was free to mint for if you had a crypto. That was what you got access to initially. And so CryptoPolz is trying to do the same thing. And then there's the one that we discussed, which is
these look like turds. They look like little turds.
Turd, sperm. These are all. Nick, this is some of the best art that you've ever seen in your life. Like, let's not deny it.
This makes me hate NFTs.
I didn't buy these, and I'm not buying any personally. That's my current move because I got the fly, and I'm waiting on the creature. What is it? Crypto creature. What I don't know the name of it.
Creature toad. The creature toads.
Yeah, whatever they're called. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, creature toads.
Creature toads. Let's see.
Nick, how about you liven this up a little bit, huh? How about we?
Why do I need to carry this show on my shoulders? That's the real question here.
Hey, I'm sitting here. I'm ready to talk Bado whenever you want, and I think that's a fun conversation. So I can cue that up. Other than this literal piece of shit on our screen.
Dude, it's a beautiful work. It could also be interpreted as a joint, like smiling at you.
I'll take that.
That could be an example of it. So it could be that. They're
just lazy name. Like, what is a polls?
Tadpole.
It's I think tadpole. But is there anything about why is this one special? Why is this one trending? I'm serious. That's my question.
Only because it was free to mint and people wanted to pump. But the distinction is they didn't get a bunch of diamond hand holders in there. Is the issue. Yeah. Whereas that's the one benefit that CryptoFlies has. The floor is now 0.225 on that one. I was thinking of buying those at 0.03 yesterday. That was like a huge opportunity.
0.03?
Yeah, they were dropping down.
Wow, and, I was thinking about buying at 0.3. I'm glad I didn't get wrecked.
So they went down temporarily. The distinction with these is I don't think that these came out the gate mooning. I had the second one listed for sale on the CryptoFlies. I listed at 5 ETH because no one else was listed, and I had undercut someone else who was at like 7 ETH or something like that. And I was just like, please, there's a 1 in 100 shot here that someone picks that up and I get a quick 5 ETH in my pocket.
Unreal.
But yeah.
Well, look, I mean, this is a free one. I mean, it's pixel art. Sophisticated Art Speculator said it looks like a turd. I guess you could actually, now that I look at it, make a case that it looks like a joint. It's got the Toadz artwork. It's another Toad derivative. How many of these the next project we were going to talk about is NinjaToadz, which is another Toadz derivative.
Oh my God. Shoot me in the face.
So real quick, let's cover NinjaToadz real quick.
Nick, hold on. I just want to let Nick know that is the format of this show. So in case you're wondering, we talk about all of these projects, 3 of these per day. Wait, what's the deal with it? So this is literally a copy of Toadz with just Raphael Ninja stars.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so like Ninja Turtles. Okay, that actually is pretty funny. I actually do like it as a joke.
It's fast food punks all over again.
What's the data on this though? Like, can you give me some insight on the
data? Is we're looking at 0.02 floor, 884 owners, 74 volume traded, max supply 3,333. NinjaToadz are well trained and ready to protect the Toadz family. No bullshit, just vibe and croak. I mean,
They don't
it
have
is
a
what
ton
it
of
is,
liquidity.
man.
They have
They
they
don't.
have $285,000 in sales. They have what in terms of volume that they have in the past 3 hours, they have about 77 sales. I'm getting this data from the nifty.com, by the way. Highly recommend you check it out. It's a free site. Get on the email list. Get that data in your inbox every morning. So
don't buy zombie toads. Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't buy Ninja Turtle toads.
I'm out of zombie toads. I got out of there at
Me too.
0.35, 0.65, 0.45. I mean, this was actually a gainer for me. This one was a nice
2x,
couple
3x.
of ETH. Got a nice couple of ETH off the table with this one. I'm not in the other ones that we just covered. NinjaToadz, not in. I like that we made that the title of our video, so people are gonna search, find it, and it's gonna be literally scroll through to that point in time, and it's gonna be a 30-second thing, and we're gonna be like, these look like shit, they are shit, we're not buying it, it's garbage.
Well,
It's fine.
The toads thing, it could be a short-term fad, but actually just Google it. Toads live a life of like 10 to 12 years. That's a pretty long lifespan. That's up there with dogs, so it could have legs.
One thing, Pio, before we dive into Botto, I think what we should do is do a high level on Botto and then actually do a separate piece on this.
So I'll just do a quick little.
So that we
I'll just do a quick little spiel on Botto. And Pio, I definitely want your take on the art because you talked about Eponyms art. But the long and short on Botto is that Botto is a generative art AI project created by a pretty good team. The actual AI artist behind it is this well-known AI artist. I guess he works at like Google's arts and culture team or something like that. Pretty reputable guy in the art AI space is my understanding. But essentially how it works is every week the Botto AI creates 50 pieces of art. The community then votes on those 50 pieces of art. You literally say, I like this one, I don't like this one. So Pio, like, I don't like the ones with like a lot of faces or weird eyes. So like I'll downvote those and pick the other ones that I like. They take all of those community votes. Those decisions actually influence the AI in the art that it will create in the future. But then also the top 5 voted ones go to a snapshot vote. And then the one that wins there, they take that art piece and they auction it on Super Rare. 100% of the proceeds from Super Rare, they take 100% of the proceeds, they buy the Botto token and burn it. So it's a deflationary model. Also, all of the secondary sales goes to buying Botto and burning it. So basically how you get exposure to this, they did like a big airdrop, like 30% of the supply went to people that own stuff in June and July. Nick and I both got an airdrop. But basically you can buy Botto. It's currently like valued at $86 million fully diluted on the market. You can buy the Botto coin. The Botto coin is how you get voting to be able to like vote on the art that you like and make the decisions there. But then you can also enter the liquidity pool and farm and get more Botto. So I consider it like a pretty speculative play, but because of the AI artist behind it, I think that the base art that they have right here is pretty good, I'd say, probably for generative art. And I think that the project has a potential just because of the mechanisms and the tokenomics behind it, in addition to like the art itself. It could be an interesting project where if it captures the attention of like art whales, it could do some. If you have like the Genesis piece go for 100K, 150K, that's 150K that's of Botto that's going to get bought and then burnt, right? It's a very interesting concept. And then how they've modeled it, 30% of the value of Botto is in the Treasury. So my understanding is that it's almost like a project where they may create more art projects down the road. They may, it may not just be this one art project. There may be more stuff that continues to happen, which I would imagine would if the project is successful. But that's the long and short of it. It's a very speculative play. I just think it's interesting and different in a world of toads. Votto sure stands out to me.
I've staked. I LP'd 0.5 ETH. 0.25 ETH I put in on one side, 0.25 ETH I put into buying Votto. I got in though at a higher price than the market's at right now. Also, Pio, we're listening to your mouse right now, which is just wanted to shout that out. But hey, did you buy that stand, by the way, the mic stand?
It's in my house right now. It's in my house.
It's in your house?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So this, I guess, is the last show that we'll have to deal with this. Is that right?
Yes.
And by the way, everybody, I wanted to say, if you're still on the show right now and you're saying, "Oh, Nick keeps bullying Pio," I'm sorry. I'm sorry to you. I'm sorry to Pio. I'm not an extreme asshole. I just play one on this show, And but
it's a character.
Oh wait, where did Nick go? Well, that's so weird that Nick's gone now. Oh, are you still talking, Nick? Who's bullying who now? Hey, everybody. If you like the show more this way with these two hot guys doing the commentary, just let us know. Or should we let this guy back into the mix? What do we think?
Okay, enough about Votto. We can move on. But Pio, what do you think about the art? Does it look cool?
Yeah, go ahead, Nick. Go ahead. And then I'll talk about
what was the art eponym. This is better than eponym. That's the bottom line, and I think it's worth. I have now 0.5 ETH invested in this. I'm probably gonna lose my shirt on this.
I love the one with like the French-looking flags almost, like the building. This one I think is like really cool, and this is like the default one on their website. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't like this one.
It kind of reminds me of like Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel.
Yeah,
except look. So I think that this one is. As you can imagine, I think that one is super sick. I think that this one is interesting, but a lot of times when they do stuff like this, I mean, no, this one gets the pass from me. I like this one too. What I'm not as big of a fan of is like, I mean, this one has potential,
like
but
abstract stuff.
Well, it's just like I'm doing this on an individual per piece basis.
The fact that you're saying, "Oh, I like this and I don't like this," after raving about eponym is hilarious. Because
this is what's fun about the project is that like if Pio's in on it, like he not only in the chat can you like in the Discord can you talk about the ones that you like, but like you can vote and influence it. So the idea is right, there's 50 of these pieces. Some probably like 20 probably collectively the whole community doesn't like, right? There's probably 5 or 10 that are going to kind of like duke it out for the one. But all of that data goes into the AI algorithm and influences what it makes in the future. So like the stuff that everyone doesn't like, that stuff, my understanding is kind of going to get filtered out of future.
The argument that someone made is this is basically the AI Medici family, and that if you're familiar with that's the family that bunch of rich financiers basically contracted a bunch of now well-known artists back during and kind of maybe helped kick off the Renaissance to a certain degree, or were a major player in it, and they fueled an art boom. And I believe Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, some of those people were like, some of those artists were actively funded, I believe.
And that's like my thing is that I think this is an asymmetrical bet, meaning that like it could just not work out and like your investment could go to zero, or it has one of those projects that has the potential of capturing the attention of like, mainstream art, major digital art collectors, etc., where it could really take off. Like it's obviously this is a hard comparison, but if these things eventually got to the price of like a Fidenza, then 1 year of work would equal more than the current market cap of Votto. And that's not including then the burn effect, which would essentially make the value of your coin quadruple, if not go up 10x. And then you think if they've become the Fidenza, then their next project is probably that they launch through Votto will be just as big, if not bigger. So what are the chances of that happening? I mean, it's not insanely high, but it's possible.
I lied about all the artists that they were involved with. Michelangelo was one of them, but that was Michelangelo, not the one that we're familiar with.
Just some other guy. Well, look, if I could weigh in on this one, I think it makes sense that Nick gave me the feedback that he thinks I'm crazy for saying
it was the Michelangelo. It was that Michelangelo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there were patrons back in the day. You know, these people got funded. Yeah, definitely. And that was, I mean, it was literally the fucking Renaissance, right? So when you look at this, I mean, what do you want from me? You know, it's like the Renaissance. When you look at this one, I'm not surprised that you said that this project compared to Eponym, that you like this more, because I think that this one probably from an art perspective, again, my opinion, and who the hell am I, but my opinion is that the art on this one is probably more mainstream accessible from what I've seen do well in the NFT market.
Like, it's not crazy to think, like, if this project takes off, that this art piece could go for $100,000. It's not insane to think that.
Not based on what I saw in the NFT market. That's not insane at all. And I find that my taste is different than what the broad NFT market is into. So I kind of have to put my taste aside sometimes when I decide what to put money into, if it's an art piece, because I have to frame it as like, okay, cool, I like this, but does the market really, really like it, right? And so when I look at Eponym, I personally like Eponym more, and I could see that the fine art crowd, like the snooty museum crowd, would like Eponym more. But when I look at this, I feel like the general NFT crowd may have a greater appreciation for this.
What?
Well,
where are you coming up with that? I don't know.
Well, and the thing that I would also say is that one of the key differences, right, is Eponym is 10,000 mints, right? This project, only one piece will go for sale per week for 52 weeks, and then this project, that's it. So it's going to be a supply of 52. And when you think about things that whales love, they love, Kevin says link to Eponym if you want to give it to him, PO.
Sure.
But it's spelled EPONYM, I think. EPONYM on OpenSea. But it was a well done project. They're a little different than this because they had, like, you could name the piece, and the naming of the piece influenced what the AI spit out. So it was a really exciting project. But just for me, like, you think about Botto, 52 pieces of work for like the first project, right? That's a very small body of work. So that's something that you could say that, if it does, once again, I think it's a high risk, high reward kind of bet. But if like whales all of a sudden are like, you have to have a Botto, in your collection to be one of like the true elite, right? Then these things could start popping off for 100K, 200K, stuff like that. And then it would set up the entire project very well for like what it could do with future projects.
Some of the Eponym art, I will agree, PO. I just went and checked some of the things. I like the painting style of it, that it looks like you have brush strokes on a canvas. And from that standpoint, why pin it right?
I would agree with that.
You can also give him a linkable version in the comments.
I can't. No, there's something wrong. I think we have to work with this because Nick paired his channel. I think we need to natively pair Nick's channel because I'm not actually able to type to anybody. And if you see these comments, they're coming in from a paired thing. So I don't.
So it's my fault.
It's Nick's fault. But Nick, so look, art is subjective, right? It's subjective. And I find that I don't favor art that looks like it's digitally native as much as I favor art that doesn't look that way. And that's kind of how I've always been. And maybe that's like a boomer quality in me, although there are some digitally native art projects that I like. I tend
squigglies.
Absolutely. Well, Fidenzas, I'm not going to say that I think that squigglies are the best shit ever. I'm not going to do that. But Fidenzas, absolutely.
But like autoglyphs, death beefs, those are very, like, obviously like computer generated, and they're primo, I think.
Yeah, and I'm game for those too. The computer generated stuff that I'm talking about is almost like, if I was going to give you an example, would be something like like this, right? So this is not something that was not made by a computer, is the way I would frame it. Is like, this is obviously made by a computer, and that turns me off, and that might be a boomer quality in me, but that doesn't mean that the market won't positively react to it. So when I was speaking so highly about Eponym, and I saw sophisticated art speculators starting to take interest in that, and we made the jokes that I was talking you into buying it, I went on record and made sure to say that just because I think that it's a really good fine art project, that doesn't mean that the market will eventually value it over 1 ETH. And we've already seen a pullback on that particular project from when we first talked about it. So investing in this stuff versus valuing it as an art piece is a big difference.
Well, and I also think that the supply of the body of work is a huge price impactor. So like Eponym is out the gate, that's 10,000 pieces. Versus like in Art Blocks Curated is 1,000, so there's only 1,000 Fidenzas. Versus Autoglyphs, isn't there only like 300 of them? Or
it's very scarce, I think.
Death Beef, there's only a couple hundred.
I feel like we should wrap it up though. We've gone like
let's wrap it up. Yeah, it was supposed to be a high level. We dived in. What's the next thing on the docket?
We taking it out? The docket is we're leaving. This is a 45-minute show we just did here.
Time to go eat some lunch,
Nifty Alpha.
baby.
If you're still watching, holy cow, you made it through. Thank you for joining on today's episode. We enjoy spending time with those peeps in the comments. Join the Discord. And more importantly, smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, because we like discussing alpha with y'all. We actually do it a little too often, to a degree where our families are saying, what's going on? Where have you been? And that's because there's a little bit of imbalance right now with, our relationship with you and my relationship with my fiance, Nick's with his daughter and wife, and Pio with all of his lovers. So yeah, it's
I was wondering what direction you were gonna go in. I was like, is he gonna go dog? Is he gonna go mom? Like, what's he gonna go with here?
Well, I'm not gonna bully you. I'll tell you that much, Pio. It's gonna be a very nice, but probably his mom. So
shout out to Kevin, the screen killer. I know he's been watching, our stuff for a long time. I appreciate it, Kevin. I hope you've subscribed to this channel, the Nifty Alpha, Kevin. You're the man. You're a good trader, and you should, if you have time, you should join us in our morning, Twitter Spaces, where we do that interactive, audience-friendly alpha jam.
Yes, I would agree with that. So that is it. I don't know if you all have any parting words outside of. I'm
going to end it. Micah Johnson today at 2 p.m. Micah Johnson on Nifty Gateway at 2 p.m. today. Take a look.
And the other drops, Party Degenerates, and then also we got the one that we discussed today, which I'm not in, at Doodles. I'm not minting anything right now. I may miss out on all this. That's my ending thought there. Screw this.
Wait for a correction.
NFT space,
Let's buy the dip. Let's just wait for a fucking heinous correction and buy all of Pac's Lost Poet pages and buy all of the Planet DAO and then just get rich off of it. No, it's not going to go up. It won't go up. No way.
I'm going to drop some alpha on our upcoming NFT Alpha project unless they cut the stream right now.
All right.
So